Hello, hello, and welcome to the honoring and the recognition of another beautiful woman on Comtivate. I mean, we're just celebrating women who are ordinary women who have just moved to extraordinary. And it's just my great pleasure to recognize Miss Desiree Foster Collins as Comtivate's Woman in History. So, when we think about these powerful women like Desi, for 2022, we are thinking about entrepreneurship, coaching, leadership skills, motivation, job satisfaction, and really focusing on women like Desi. It's celebrating ordinary women who are doing extraordinary things in their lives, things in for the families, things for the community, and even for their business. When we think about all of the things they do, these women they're running homes, they're being professionals in the workplace, in their homes, they're running their businesses. And so my intent at Comtivate is really to celebrate these women for another woman that's out there, or another little girl will look at Desi and says, I want to be like her. That's why we're celebrating you, Desi, because you are going to allow some woman or some little girl today to see that they can maximize their potential, to see that they can just allow themselves to be what God has designed them to be. So that's what excites me about our time today. And so, Desi, thank you so much for just allowing us to do this and to have this conversation and talk about you. Talk about, and I just love asking questions. So I'm going to just ask you to help us understand what makes you so extraordinary. How are you maximizing your potential, whether it's in your home, it's your work, in your business? Tell us how you do that.
Well, Dr. Sharon, thank you so much for having me. I'm like, this is so fun. So fun. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Desiree Foster Collins, and I am the founder of EBD Collective. We are a business and leadership development agency. And gosh, this is uncomfortable. And the reason I'm going to say it's uncomfortable is because you never want to talk about yourself or brag about yourself or do any of those things. Like we just we get into the motion of just going and doing, and to stop and to have someone say, "Hey, you're special, and we want to honor you." That just does something to you. So thank you.
Are welcome.
Thank you so much. Wow. So, what makes me extraordinary? Here's what I will tell you about myself. Um, I know without a shadow of a doubt that it's every single failure, every single lesson, every single thing that I've tried and taken a risk at. Um, all of those mess ups have allowed for me to grow into the woman that people see today. Um, I come from a very. I am the oldest of 9 children, and my background is a little unique because at the age of 20, I was raising 3 teenagers.
Well,
I was a single mom, newly divorced, and had my son on the way, and the only thing that I knew how to do was work. And I valued the ability to work. Um, Being able to look at myself and not say, okay, well, you know what, you're a charity, you're a case, poor me. There was always something on the inside that said, okay, you know what, if you want more, be more and go do more. And so that became my focus. Um, and as I've gone through my career, even into entrepreneurship, that's one thing that I've always valued was the value of being able to do excellent work. And so I've always prided myself in that. Made a lot of mistakes along the way. So if I were to look at, if I were to say, okay, Desiree, what makes you excellent? It's it's the ability to say, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to do my very, very best. It doesn't come what may. I'm going to do my very best. And that is all that I can do. And, I will leave the rest up to God. I'm a woman of faith. So, I will leave what belongs to Him in His hands, and I'm going to do my part. So I hope that answers your question.
It does. And I love it, love it, love it, love it. Because you know what? Wow. I think you should extraordinary, powerful, strong, resilient. I could just keep describing you. But thank you for that because you know what you've just told us. And I take these as teachable moments, Desi, because as women, we go through so much. And I'm listening to you, and I even can just only imagine for a moment what makes you so extraordinary. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
where we see your strength. When we think about this, a lot of people, Desi, are struggling to find their purpose, men, women.
Yes.
Today,
Yes.
I know, especially for women, coming out of COVID, the workplace, the home. Should I stay home? Should I go to work? Should I take care of the kids? Should I homeschool my kids? The questions are continuous. And I know in this conversation today that it is purposed by God that there's a woman and there's going to be a
Mm-hmm.
child, a little girl who would look at this conversation today and say to herself, oh my gosh, I can be like her. I could be like Dizzy. I could be like Sharon. And I'm wondering for you to, if you could help us understand, how did you find your purpose? You told us a little story here or there, but which one of your story drives you to your purpose? Would you say?
Wow. What I would say is that, if I may share this brief story, I talked about work and just being able to go out there and just do and work and not wanting to be handed anything, but being really willing to go out there and get what I wanted. And with that drive, I was able to take that and transfer that into my corporate career. I spent the past 17 years in the power utility industry, not knowing anything about the industry, but I knew that I knew how to work. And so, being learnable, being, coachable, being willing, being
Oh,
teachable, I dove in to what I didn't know with the willingness to learn and to grow. And with that drive came a lack of support, came life, major life incidents that took place, whether it was death, whether it was birth, whether it was, relationships falling apart, losing our home, getting a promotion where I go from being an individual contributor to now having a team of 19 that I'm responsible for. And then, you know, even with the grinding and the hustling and the drive, I burnt out. In 2016, I burned out. And I didn't realize that every single year, there was a period of about 7 years, every single year, there was another major life event that was happening. All I knew how to do was to keep going. And when life finally caught up with me, it forced me to stop. And nothing happens by accident. There's no coincidence. I absolutely believe that God's hand is in everything because he promises that all things work together for our good. And so me going through burnout and literally being sat down for 6 months, it was a time to reevaluate my life. It was a time, here I am, I'm early 40s, and my doctor's like, if I don't take you off of work, you're going to have a heart attack and then your children won't have a mother. So this is what we're going to do. And I went through a period of really just dealing with, different mental health issues, anxiety and depression. Here I am, I'm burnt out. My name was all over these major projects at work and I can't do anything. And so being in this reevaluation period, it was at that time that I was blessed to find the John Maxwell team. It was at that time when, when your world's on fire, creativity and ideas come to you because there's nothing else for you to focus
middle
on,
of the
right?
crisis, right?
In the middle of the crisis, the whisper happens,
Yeah.
right? And so it was at that time that I actually started my business. Um, and I realized that the growth that I needed to have as a woman
Mm.
my life had finally slowed down enough, almost to a stop, to where I could focus on being the woman before I wanted to be that woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so once I now began my growth process, it then began to open me up to, oh, well, what am I supposed to be here doing? Who am I supposed to be serving? What
Hmm.
gifts and talents have I been given that I just take as, okay, it's no big deal. I do them every single day. What is it that I have? What does Desi have that I can go and give to the world? And so when I found out the practice of coaching and realizing how powerful it was by experiencing it first, and realizing, oh, wait a second, my life is transforming. And then seeing other people get that, oh, wait,
Hmm.
I see life differently now. I see business differently. I see my profession differently. I'm better. Now I can be, do, and have more. When I realized that and that I was good at it,
And you're like, wait a minute, I'm good at it too.
wait a minute.
Wait,
Wait a
you're like, hold up, wait a
wait.
minute.
When I realized that, I was like, wait a second, there's something to this. And so,
Yeah.
but it took getting to a place of, gosh, this is so embarrassing to talk about, but I share it not to impress anybody, but just to let people know, especially if you deal with like the strong woman syndrome, right? Like the superwoman syndrome. I don't know if anybody knows that illness, but I had it. Okay, I had it bad. Don't ask for help. You figure it out on your own. You get out there and do it. If it's to be, it's up to me. All of those catchphrases that you hear. And I remember being at my therapist's office, and I was so angry that I had to be there, because I always thought that, okay, well, if, come on, you can, whatever feelings you're feeling, you just get over it, work through it. And I remember leaving his office one day. He'd been asking me all kinds of questions, and I was upset. And I get in my truck, and I sit there, and I'm fuming, and the tears begin to flow, and I'm bawling my eyes out. And I'm like, God, what is happening? And it's just like God. I think that sometimes he hears me just like, oh my gosh, there goes my daughter again.
Good father.
He's a good father, right?
Good
And
father.
I heard the Holy Spirit say, even strong women ask for help too.
Ah, hmm. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
That was the beginning of my change.
That is awesome.
So being able to relate to other women, knowing that all of the things that I've been through, and I'm doing this, being the face, having people know my name. There's something that happens when you're so used to being in the presence, or on the stage, and then all of a sudden you're knocked down off of that, and you're trying to figure out, what the heck am I supposed to do now? There's something that happens on the inside of you. And so I went through this transformation, but in that struggle and in that transformation, I found what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm walking in it.
Wow. Ooh. In the would you say drop the mic? you know, but on the serious side of it, Desi, you just taught us a lesson. Even me right now in the moment, you have just taught you touched so many key points that I know there's somebody who's going to listen to this who may have had that strong woman syndrome, or just been through some spaces and places in their lives. And you brought to us some pivotal moments here, because you just remind us those are the situations that made you so strong. That being extraordinary didn't just come like, okay, I'm extraordinary. You had to go through some things. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the power of this conversation. And that's why I want to honor you, because you didn't have to do what you did, but you did it. And out of all of this, you have created moments for that little girl, that woman. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for sharing your story and thank you for just being vulnerable and transparent, Desi. Not everybody can do what you just did. I mean, I was about to like wipe a tear, like, ah, she's just like, you know, the, but
You,
I'm
you know,
glad you,
you know what happens, and I know that you can relate to this, Dr. Sharon. You
yes.
know, we get so we get stuck in a place of
Mhm.
I've this is what I've known for. This is what I've done. These are the people that are relying on me. And then when you get to this place in your life, you're just like, okay, well, what about me? What about me? What is it that I need? And there's nothing selfish about that. And when I realized that it wasn't selfish to say, hey, I need help. Hey,
Yeah, hello.
life sucks right now.
Yeah.
God, I am angry because I keep asking you for help and I think you're not helping me. And every single time you're like, okay, baby girl, now hold on a second. That grief that you're experiencing is meant for your healing. I need you to pause for a second. That loss that you're experiencing, that good thing that you're experiencing, there are lessons in each and every one of them. And I was unwilling because I was unaware.
Ooh, wow.
I was unaware. Once everything stopped and I had nothing but my thoughts and my kids looking at me saying, "Okay, mom, you've been on the couch for a little too long. Get up.
Oh,
Get
wow.
up. Get up."
Wow, 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 wow. You just take me way back. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you for that. I think everybody knows my story, and my story never changes, but my story is my glory. Yeah, I put it that way. Just being born in Jamaica, my mom, and she was a young lady, and just being two. And I always say to people, I had choices to be bitter or better. I have no idea, Desi, what my mom looks like. There's not a picture of my mother nowhere on this earth. I've not seen her, but I've heard her story, and she passed away when I was 10 years old. And it's a moment like this, Desi, that I these are sacred moments to me. I love this. And what drives me to honor women like you, because I know that there were women like you in the past and there are women like you coming, but it's in this moment that you create a path, Desi. You are creating a path for so many women to travel on, and I'm just honored to be in your presence, to honor you, and to say thank you so much. I know there's a girl out there just waiting to find out, what should I do now? What should I do, Desi, to maximize my potential? What should I do to move from ordinary to extraordinary? What is that one thing, just one thing, Desi, that you can tell a girl listening right now? How does she move from ordinary to extraordinary?
Be you.
Mm,
Be you. There is no one else like you.
wow.
No one. No one. There is no one else like you, exactly like you, with your quirks, with the way that you look, with the way that you behave, all of those things. I, I always say you were built for this moment right here, right now.
Yes.
You were built for this. Not Mary, not Tanisha, not not Augustine. You were built for this moment. And if you don't take care of you, if you do not value you, no one else will. So be you, because that's where the power is.
That's where the power is. You know what? I know somebody wants to know where to contact you. So I want you to tell people, where can they find you if they want to contact you, know more, learn from you, get some coaching, just to be them. Tell us more.
Well, you guys can find me on Facebook, Desiree Foster Collins. I also have the Girl Ask Me Anything community. We are a community of women from all over the world where you'll be inspired, mentored. Um, there's teaching, and then we actually live out the principles of whole life leadership. And so that's my community on the little internet. I'm on Instagram, Desiree Foster Collins, and they can always go to my website, excellencebydesign.us.
Wow, listen, I wish I could just sit at your feet and learn so much more. But I'm going to rewatch this, you know. This is so powerful. This is just so amazing. I love it. I love it. And thank you, Desiree. You are Comtivate's woman in history, just being
Thank you.
extraordinary and just to be powerful and strong and resilient and vulnerable and transparent. I could just keep adding, but it just gives me so much joy. You know, it's such to enjoy a moment like this. It's a growth moment for me as well. Listen, folks, my name is Dr. Sharon Johnson, and I'm the CEO of Comtivate Leadership Training and Development, where I teach, speak, train, coach, and read. And so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And my one mission is in life is to just inspire people to live and be at their maximum God-given potential. Desiree, you have just given me my own mission. So thank you for that. And so for those of you, you can reach out to me at drsharonjohnson.net. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and I just love life, love people, and want people to just live their best life because that's what God wants for us. We are created by God for his purpose. And so thank you again. At Comtivate, we say stay beautiful, stay fabulous, and stay motivated. Thank you, Desiree, and thank you all for watching. Thank you.